Thank you, Ms. Doris. Next is Mr. Malone. You know, I always called you Mr. Malone. I didn't know your first name was Chris. I had to call someone to find out. But you, come on up. You were a tough math teacher. And I can still remember that you showed us on the board using all proper mathematical equations that 1 equals 0. You remember that?
Yeah, I also showed you my stop.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me today too. And Mr. Lanier said he was always at Carter County. Well, I started out at Cherokee going to school. And Cherokee just always hated Lee. You know, I just couldn't figure out why. And when I was in high school, Lee had a really good team. And they were supposed to beat us terrible. And Coach Manning was over getting the trophy. That trophy was that tall. And it's still down in the Cherokee. They had to take out the racks where we go in there. It's big. But we just lucky to beat him that night. But I always wanted to find out what's going on up there. Why does Cherokee hate Lincoln so bad? So that was my number one place I wanted to go. I came to Lincoln out of 13 offers. And they would ask me, how long are you going to stay? I said, well, I guess till they run me off. Well, that was 1970, and I stayed to 2005, retired. But I really had a good time. I've enjoyed talking to y'all today. And I do remember one thing I'd always tell you, I always talk about ratios, that you're eventually going to get as old as I am. And I observed some of you today. I really believe it's getting there quicker than I thought. But again, I appreciate the offer for coming, and if you do it again, please invite me back. Thank you.
Lastly, we have Coach Christian that's going to come and share a few thoughts with us. We had a football reunion in January, my senior year, and the juniors behind us that played football. And we had a great time just visiting and watching old films and stuff, and talking about how good we were. And he told us we really wasn't that good. And I was talking to Nofri and Lee, I don't remember who all after. Nofri said, you know, if he said to jump off O'Neill Bridge, we'd do it. He said, now I would look over right before we hit the water and say, now why would we do this? And I'd say, well, it's because Coach Greasy said to do it, and that's just the way it was. And you have had our respect, and as well as the rest of y'all. Y'all just, I can see why the school was so good in the 80s. So now you come and be as hard on him as it was on us, man, would you?
Not for me have said that, but it didn't seem like they always acted that way when we were practicing football. They didn't always do what I told them to do. But, you know, I appreciate you having this thing today and having me here. And Carter County High School has been a huge part of my life, and you people have too. You know, Mr. Landers was telling me a while ago, we won, during the 80s, we won over 100 games, which is a pretty good record, year in and year out. You know, I always kind of downplayed a team, tried to, and tried to make people think we weren't going to have a real good team and all that, but I really always felt like we were going to have a good team until, I don't remember which class it was, but the whole football team got after Coach McGarry and couldn't catch him. So I said, uh-oh, we might be in bad trouble this year. But we came on and had a pretty good team. I haven't had a chance to meet everybody here, and please excuse me if I don't recognize you right off, because I don't see too good in the dark. But I really want you to know that the Colbert County family is my family, and the football players and the cheerleaders were pretty much like our own children, which would both be here if they could, but they're just unavoidably detained elsewhere. I told Bubba that, or my wife did, that I wouldn't talk very much, and because I'm not a very good speaker, but I just wanted to let everybody know that I really appreciate all that you players have done for me, and I was just along for the ride. And we love every one of you, and appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Not a very good speaker. That's what he said. You know, when he's shouting, those words just come easy. They just roll right out there. He didn't shout that much, only when we needed it. He would kick a garbage can. Who said that? You don't say Dion. It was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Thank y'all so much for that. Y'all being here alone is what's going to make this night good for me. It's just good to hear from y'all, and I thank what you've done for us back then and still today. I appreciate you taking time out to do this. I want to have a few minutes too to make mention of the folks that have served in the military with us. And you'll note on some name tags there's a star that's on there. We've used that to denote the folks that either have or are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces in any capacity. And I want to take some time to thank you for that tonight, if y'all will indulge me for just a minute. In November the 21st of 1864, there was a letter written from the Executive Mansion to a Mrs. Bixby in Boston, who it was believed had lost 5 sons in the Civil War. I want you to hear the gratitude of the President and know that we feel the same today. Dear Madam, I have been shown in the files of the War Department a statement of the Adjutant General of Massachusetts that you are the mother of 5 sons who have died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of a republic that they died to serve. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. Now, I have friends who have volunteered and served, and I want you to know that they're all better than me because of it. Because in the service, they and you became service and sacrifice and honor, something that I could see, those 3. In fact, you're the best of us all. You are part of what is the finest military presence in the world. You liberate the oppressed. You are the protector and the defender of freedom. And if I could just get real personal with it, you stand between those that would do harm to my son for evil's sake, and you say, not on my watch. And because of that, from me and from this grateful community, which is a part of a grateful nation, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want you to try to find some folks today, even if you don't know them, and just thank them for what they've done for our country. In closing, I want to say one more thing. You are and always have been ambassadors of our school. And in doing that, wherever you go and whatever you do, I request you to be the best at it. Because it does honor to us all when you do. And even if, I mean, it could be in anything that you do. And I want to say this because this is important to me, and you know, we've been down this road a time or two. If you've moved away and you're involved in another school, if you're local and you're involved in another school, I expect you to be the best, to be the best one there. To stand up in positions of leadership, to stand up for things that are right. And I want to tell you again, when you do that, you bring honor to us all. And I thank you for being here today. Now, we've got this place for, you know, longer. I know there's things going on afterwards. But again, I want to thank you for coming. And y'all just make sitting on for a little while longer, okay? Thank you.
Help them come to Shelby to help us train other soldiers that are going over there. So they get the most current PCPs and stuff.
Drinking while I was driving, and then the next day your dad comes in and is like, "What are you doing?" I wasn't even there long. What the hell are you want to be? Hey, what do you say?
Get up.
Never in my life.
You're the big bunch of men around there.
Yeah, but she was pretty good when she was doing Santa too. Yeah.